painting over the MPOZI mural.
Yeah.
Like, how do y'all feel about that?
I was there when it was happening because, on Mondays I work right next door. And so I heard some scraping, like literally, and I was like, are they doing more construction? And then I see like they're literally scraping the wall, I guess, to see out of, and then I was like, okay, well maybe they're doing some touch-ups like they've done a couple times before.
Right.
And so I didn't think much of it. And then I come out and I hear like sprayers. Yeah. And I see and so I immediately sent like the picture to Nick and I sent it to my man Theron. And I was like, well, I guess corporate interests have, are moving here in Broad Ripple,
again.
Yeah. And so like, cause that building, even though I didn't go into lava for anything really, the way they had remodeled it during the pandemic, it was a really dope looking building.
Yeah,
they kind of
painted the front.
Yeah. To kind of, and updated, DJ Indiana Jones is part of them, not only updating that, but like, making sure that they, touched up the mural. This is one of his passions because he and MPOZI were close. And so, it was a really kind of dope, like kind of cultural centerpiece for Broad Ripple Village. And now it just looks like a dentist office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's sad, man. I never knew MPOZI, but everybody that I knew when I moved here knew him really well.
Right.
Yeah, that was the thing where like I moved here like it was like maybe right before he passed, but I was just getting to know people, but like the people that I cared about him.
Right.
To see them in real time just paint over that, like it kind of broke my heart because, it had always been kind of an agreement that mural was going to stay, even though that building had changed hands a couple times. And this is what people do, like literally whitewashing the visage of a black man off the side of a building.
That's crazy. And from my understanding too, I heard, and this could be a rumor, that the Broad Ripple Association knew that this was going to happen. Like it was actually brought up in a meeting or whatever, and whoever the owners of Lava agreed to it or decided that that's what they were going to do. So evidently it's been going on for a minute. And we all just found out about it.
I've heard mixed things. Like I've also heard that apparently the owner is going to paint a mural of somebody that I think it was B Swift that mentioned it in one of the comments I saw, that the owner is going to make another mural of somebody else and put it there, which I thought was kind of weird. I don't know if there's any truth to it. Again, just hearsay.
Well,
but I also heard that the previous owner had passed away.
Yes.
So,
yes. He unfortunately died of COVID.
The owner of Lava?
Lava. Yeah. The person who actually owned Lava died of COVID.
Okay.
And I don't know who. I mean, I think it's still somebody in his family because his I'll put some respect on his name is Omar.
Yeah.
And he was like, nothing's going to happen to this mural. But a lot of times, when people pass away, their wishes, pass away with them. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, and then the other people, they don't care.
It would be cool if we had some sort of thing in the same way that they protect historical buildings. People care about buildings. You know what I mean? If you could protect art. Artistic things that are representative of the community in this aspect. Because who cares who pops in here. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's part of Indianapolis culture, so it wouldn't matter if they were trying to have this perceived image. I think actually showing culture of the city is dope in itself for anybody that was coming in or want to do business in any area, whether it's Broad Ripple or whether it's downtown. This is part of who we are. So actually getting rid of it is almost like a slap in the face to everybody that represents the city.
And once again,
my personal opinion.
Who says, I'm going to paint over a mural? That looks like that is literally dedicated to somebody who died. You see the wings when he's that would I couldn't live with that kind of I know karma is part of the Hindu and Indian belief. Whether or not you actually subscribe to that is neither here nor there. But I don't think I'd really want that on my conscience that I painted over a mural. Like I'm the person who made the decision to do that.
It was a nice mural too. It wasn't like it was dilapidated or it was peeling or anything. No, it was still vibrant.
To your point, it's not like it was like old and dingy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it had just been touched up in the last 2 to 3 years. So
yeah, because that's like one of the last things that Indiana Jones did.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be putting like a coating over it and then putting a plaque on there as well. That was supposed to happen at some point in time, but here we are.
Yeah.
That's the only person I think they could actually, if he was putting somebody else up there, would be Jones.
And he's on the side of the Vogue.
Of the Vogue.
Yeah. But it's like, owners change owners. It's just the weird thing about like ownership. I know in certain places, I don't know if it's here, but like there are certain places where historical buildings, I don't know if this is an Indiana thing, but where you can't do certain things to historical buildings.
One of those
even if the ownership changes, it's historical, like you have to do certain things. And I feel like that should be something.
Should be part of that.
In general, It's
like it's that bar in Minneapolis where Prince and all them played. Mm-hmm. The writing on the walls and the signatures and all of that stuff has to stay there because it's part of the culture. It's part of the story.
Right.
What's it, Fifth Avenue?
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, I've driven past it.
Yeah, but regardless of, shouts to Eric in the chat, regardless of if the building is historical, I'm talking about the same type of, looking at it in the same type of manner of respecting the art in the same way that buildings are respected. Mm-hmm. Like if you have to demolish the building for codes or something, you're going to rebuild some stuff. I get it, but I would appreciate it if we respected the artistic community in this aspect, and maybe there was initiative taken to take it a step further. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
and this is what's sad is what this happened, and it's, like I said, and there is a level of outrage coming from the greater Indianapolis community and across the country.
Yeah, it's going to be felt.
And I not even across the country, internationally.
Yeah.
Because, people who knew MPOZI are all over the world.
Exactly.
And, but this is the thing. It's really messed up. People don't hold the line because whatever, I guarantee you, they'll be in there, people just having hookah and $8 Coronas this week.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna care about it.
Yeah. So, but also the thing, people who care, they don't go to lava anyway.
Yeah, I was about to say, they say you're only 2 generations removed from being forgotten.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I remember in St. Louis, one of the we had a heritage station there, kind of like what WTLC is to here. And, basically was taken off the air. And like there had been steps up to that point where like people who had been on the station for 20, 25 years were just like, we're just, they just showed up one day and they're like, yeah, this is your last day.
Mm-hmm. That's capitalism, man.
And people, that too. And they were like, people were like, oh, I'll never listen to so-and-so again. They took, said this personality off, and it was just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, business as usual.
They know better.
They know eventually the outrage will die and people will go on about their lives, which is just sad, because it shouldn't be like that. But this is what happens in America under capitalism.
Yeah, and MPOZI did, just for those that are following that don't know, he was a photographer, but didn't he had something to do with like a Roots album or something specific?
Well, he was friends with a few members of the Roots, but he was very instrumental in hip hop photography back in Philadelphia. So he took a lot of those pictures that you see of early Roots and groups like that. He's the one that was behind the camera.
Yeah, and I became aware of him, not even knowing that he had the connection here. There was a magazine called The Fader.
Mm-hmm. Fader.
Yeah.
And I remember they did this story. There was a story about, there were some, police brutality problems in Cincinnati, in the early to mid 2000s. And, curfews and the whole nine, it was bad. And, the person who shot all the pictures for The Fader was MPOZI. Mm-hmm. So I knew of him without even knowing that he had a connection here when I moved here. So, this just wasn't some guy who DJ'd and took a few pictures. It was a heavy cultural influence. And like, I'll just say it again, like I've said online and to people personally, it was like them doing that. Like that's just a lack of cultural awareness. I don't wish this upon them, even though I think what they did was terrible. But I saw this. I was like, yo, I don't care what they put up there. Like, they're going to have a guard stand by that thing 24 hours a day.
Not for sure.
Because, there are already people that just tag, all the things that get tagged around the city. Nobody ever messed with that mural.
Yep.
Because there was respect.
Out of respect.
There was respect for that mural. That mural's gone. I can't say there's going to be that same level of respect.
It's wild, man.
Don't catch the same type of flack that flower woman who came here from out of town that was painting flowers all over everybody's garage, whatever her name was.
She's doing more than that.
Yeah, I know.
she made that painting of the rabbits.
Okay.
Oh,
y'all didn't see that?
Yeah,
there was like controversy around it or something.
Yeah.
I just on my ride over to Decademics, like I pass like garages with
her paintings
with
on
her stuff on it. Yeah, it's like the butterflies or I don't know, whatever it is. Yeah.
She got a lot of stuff.
Muck Rock, there it is.
Yeah.
Down south too, on the south side.
Yeah, she was all over the city.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the stuff that they want you to see. People that have no connection to Indianapolis at all, and just want them to come up here and try to create this image where somebody was instrumental in the artist community